Canadian journalists undermining their credibility one question at a time. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. I've been at this game a long time, and I have watched as our trust with the public has just eroded year after year. People don't trust the media anymore, and with good reason, because so many show up with a biased agenda. Look, I'm an opinion columnist. I'm a commentator. I have been for years. You know my opinion when you show up. You know where I come from. But the rest of the media, the people that are supposed to be the neutral observers, well, we've watched them melt away their credibility. And when it comes to conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, well, we've all seen him munching on an apple, listening to dumb questions.
Currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
So that's Poilievre a few months ago, but now he's in Toronto on Monday doing an announcement about ending auto theft, ending bail for repeat offenders when he gets asked a question that is absolutely jaw-droppingly dumb from a reporter who's not a spring chicken. This is someone who was in the industry before I graduated high school, and I'm old. Listen to this question.
Hi, Brian Weatherhead from CTV News. I love your slogan, jail not bail, but then I assume you must want to abolish the presumption of innocence in Canada.
No, because the people that for whom I'm going to apply jail and not bail are people who've been convicted sometimes on dozens of occasions prior to their most recent arrests. Let me give you proof. In Vancouver, they had to arrest the same 40 offenders 6,000 times in 1 year.
I mean, that's not a question, that's an accusation. That is someone showing up with their mind made up, so trying to say, haha, you think you're smart, I'm smarter than you, and I'm going to show that you don't follow Canada's legal system. No. Poilievre is talking about doing away with bail for repeat offenders. This person says you're doing away with the presumption of innocence. Absolutely stupid. But let's talk about the other question that was asked that caused a lot of people online to sit up and take notice. And that is when Poilievre was asked by a reporter from Omni News about Danielle Smith's trans policy in Alberta. Now, this has nothing to do with the federal government, but they're going to load it up on him and make assertions in the question that aren't quite true, which leaves Poilievre scratching his head and pushing back once again.
Jerome from Omni News. An internal email obtained by the Globe and Mail shows your party has advised MPs not to comment publicly on Alberta's new transgender health and education policies. Why are you telling MPs not to comment on this? And can you please tell us your opinion on your party's position on increasing restrictions on transgender youth?
Sorry, what's that? What was the last part of your question?
Why are you telling MPs not to comment on this? And can you please tell us your opinion on your party's position on increasing restrictions on transgender youth?
Okay, well, your question contains falsehoods. You should tell me what restrictions you're referring to.
That's the question they gave me.
That's the question they gave you. Who gave you that question?
That's from my office, from my desk.
Which desk is that?
It's from Omni News.
Okay. This is the problem. Justin Trudeau and the media have been spreading disinformation to distract from his doubling of housing costs, his quadrupling of the carbon tax, the crime wave that he's unleashed across the country. And they're doing that by spreading disinformation on this and other issues. Justin Trudeau does not want to defend his appalling record of sending 2 million people to food banks. And so he's spreading disinformation on this subject with the help of the media, who want to cover up for his failures. Our approach is to focus on our common sense plan, to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime.
Poll after poll has shown that when you ask a straight up and down question, not a loaded one, not a loaded one. You ask a straight up and down question. Vast majority of Canadians agree with this. Last summer, Angus Reid Institute released a poll that showed 78% agreed with Scott Moe's policy, which the media at that time said was absolutely abhorrent. That they said it was controversial. No, 14% disagreed with Scott Moe's policy. 14%, but that is where the media and Justin Trudeau are. They're all in that 14% and telling the rest of us that it's controversial, that they are in the wrong. Here's a clue for the media. My fellow media people, my colleagues, my adversaries, look, stop trying to show up with a predetermined narrative for every story, for every question. Show up and look at the evidence. Why are you willing to say to Pierre Poilievre, what about these restrictions? And you're not willing to say, wait a minute, who says puberty blockers for 8-year-olds is a good idea? Who says body-altering, life-changing, irreversible surgery at 12 is acceptable? That's what is being pushed by the activists on the other side, but they will not be questioned. It is verboten to question them. If you want to know why the media is losing credibility, it's because they show up with a predetermined narrative. The Edmonton shooting a little while ago, another prime example. My colleague Joe Warmington, one of the few to be pointing out, hey, wait a minute, this guy says this is about Gaza. Shouldn't we be talking about that? Instead, many media outlets didn't mention that or buried it if they did and tried to explain it away. That undermines credibility. When you are determining the outcome before you have told people the facts, you are undermining your credibility. I don't want everyone to question the media, to think that everyone is in the tank for something, but that is what's happening because journalists aren't doing their job. They're trying to shove their own agenda on their viewing, reading, and listening public, and that is not what the job is. And if you can't handle that, get out of the business and find somewhere else to work. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.